Hi, good to see you. Sometimes when I'm making a card, I need a frame for around like the little watercolor picture that I created, and I don't always have the right color paper, or it's too bright, or it just doesn't have texture to it. So I tried something today to see if it would work, and it really did. I don't know that gold is necessarily the correct color for this, but it has a green in it that I do like, and it does create a border around this little rabbit card. And all I did was take a piece of, I wouldn't say construction paper, cardstock, and you could probably use a thick piece of paper. Either way, it's going to be stuck on here, so maybe even a plain piece of paper if you could get it to work. And then I had some tissue paper from a gift that was, it's not fresh anymore, it's all crumpled. So I just crumpled it up more and then spread it out and used some Mod Podge. Probably any glue would work as long as it's an even coating and not going to create blobs. And I coated this, and then I put the tissue paper on it and rolled it on there and ended up with this texture, which I really like. There's a few little bubbles here, but I don't care, because when I make a card, this would be glued onto this and this would be glued onto that, and then I would have a nice border. So if you have tissue paper that's old and a nice color that you like, and you think that you might want to create a frame for something that you've either drawn or stamped, this is pretty nice. I think I'm going to make some up ahead of time and just kind of have them ready and cut them for my little cards that I make. So I'm going to take you out to the island in the kitchen, and I'll show you how I do it. And I think I'll do some different colors. And then I just use my guillotine cutter. If you cut real good with scissors, you could just cut it that way to fit a frame around your card. And then you've got a nice piece of paper that shows a little bit of texture for your card. So let's go get started. Okay, so now I have 4 custom background borders for a card, and I just used this tissue paper. And while I was doing this, I thought it would be really cute if you used tissue paper that had the little confetti or sparkles in it. It's just the options are endless. You could do all kinds of things, and the nice thing is it doesn't have to be in good shape. I tend to use tissue paper for other presents if they're not all crumpled up and look like they've been used multiple times. And that's the very paper that you can use again yet for something like this. So here is a blank card that I make, that I cut. And let's say we want to put the little bunny on there, but we want a little border. Here's this pink one would work. This is pink tissue paper. And creates, and if you can see there's texture in it, and I like that. I really like the texture. Adds, the eye will see it, and it just adds a little something to it that a regular sheet of paper doesn't. And then this little green one goes well. And then there's a brown one. This kind of adds a darker border. And so anything at all. And then of course we had the gold that I showed you at the very beginning, which is very pretty too. It's almost a gold green. And I was thinking if you had a sentiment, you could cut a frame around this. You could use it as a strip, or you could just cut it out and maybe put it inside or use it on front with a stamp, something like that. So I think it adds to your choice of paper if you don't have a lot of paper. So again, I just used kind of a little bit thicker than regular paper. It could be thicker, much thicker cardstock. This is a thinner cardstock. Now let me show you, they kind of, when they and dry, they'll curl a little bit. So let me show you how I just run them off the corner of the table and they straighten out pretty good. I straightened this one out just with one little roll off the edge. And let me show you how to do that. Okay, so all I do, you'll see it's kind of curved like this. I just, when it curls up this way, just roll it off the edge slightly and it should kind of straighten it. And it did, straightened it really well. So this really responds well. And then you're gonna glue it down anyway. And all you need to do is, you'll just have less curl to deal with, but it'll be flat anyway. Now, as far as a roller, I used, this is for a jelly plate, but you could use a wallpaper roller or you could use a rolling pin. Anything round that you could roll on this to get the paper on pretty flat, it'll work great. So I hope this helps you and that you can use some of that extra tissue paper, especially from the holidays and the birthdays, and put it to good use instead of just tossing it. So see you soon.